everybody. Happy Wednesday. It is April 16th. April is flying by, flying by. Wednesday, April 16th at 6:30 in the morning. And every Wednesday at 6:30 in the morning, I go live on TikTok and I go live on YouTube to talk about self-care at work. Every Wednesday. Every Wednesday at 6:30 in the morning. That's what I talk about. And you may be saying, well, who are you? That's a good question. Who are you? I am Belinda Harris. I am an HR disruptor. I talk about on my channels self-care at work. I talk about all things HR, whether it's to small business owners who don't have an HR department, whether it is to people who are looking for a job and don't know what to do and need tips, whether it's to managers or supervisors on how to deal with employee conflicts and relationships, all things, all things HR. And I also talk about AI. Those are the three things that I talk about on my channel. And like I said, on Wednesdays at 6:30 in the morning, live I go to talk about self-care at work. And people like to say, or may say, why so early in the morning, Belinda? It's 6:30. Why so early in the morning? Why not 7:30 or 8:30 or 10 a.m.? Why 6:30? And I have an answer for that. The answer to why I go live at 6:30 in the morning to talk about self-care at work is I'm trying to catch people before they get to work, before they start their day at work, so that they know or have some tips or suggestions of things they can do at work for their self-care. Now, a lot of us practice self-care already. A lot of us do. We have morning routines that consist of journaling or exercising or meditation or reading or grounding. A lot of us have those things in the morning. Our morning routine that helps us have a good day. A lot of us have evening or nightly routines that let us be able to unwind at night and go to sleep and have a good night's sleep. Some people make sure their room is cold or no screens an hour or 90 minutes before bed. All type of things that people do. They have morning routines, they have evening or nightly routines. Very few people have self-care at work routines. And it amazes me because we're at work for most of our day. We spend, some of us 8 hours at work, some of us 10 hours at work, some of us 12 hours at work. That's a lot of time to not be practicing any self-care. Think about it. You're at work, you're awake at work, and you're not practicing any self-care. And that's where I come in, because being in HR, and not just that, experiencing it myself, burnout is real, because you got your head down and you're trying to get work done and you're going, and you burn yourself out. Even if you enjoy the work that you do, you can still get burnt out, which is why self-care at work is so important. And that is why I talk about it. So today I'm going to talk about self-care at work with the topic of checking in with ourselves during the workday. Like, how do we check in with yourself during the workday? Because we check our emails, we check our calendars, we check in on our coworkers, we check Slack or GroupMe, we check text messages. We do a lot of checking at work. All these things, our emails, our calendar, our in with our coworkers, our text messages. But when was the last time that you actually checked in with yourself? Like, do you check in and say, how am I feeling? Or what do I need? Or is your body tense? Is your mind racing? We get caught up in doing the work that we forget to notice how we are really doing. But that's okay, because that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to show you how you can do a quick, meaningful check in during your workday. That's only going to take a few minutes. So it's not going to take a lot of your time. And this is something that you can do all throughout the day. Now, what exactly is check in, right? What is a self check in? A self check in is a short pause in your day where you ask yourself, how am I feeling? How am I feeling physically? How am I feeling emotionally? How am I feeling mentally? You're asking yourself, how do I feel physically, emotionally, mentally? Then you say, what do I need right now? Your self check in. What do I need right now, right in this moment? What do I need? Then you ask yourself, it's very simple. Am I being kind to myself? We're our hardest critics. We're so hard on ourselves. When we our self-talk sometimes is horrible. And we are kinder to our coworkers, our friends, our family, strangers on the street sometimes. So when you do your self check-in, you ask yourself, am I being kind to myself? Am I giving myself kindness? Because it's not complicated. Those three things, those three questions, how am I feeling? What do I need right now? Am I being kind to myself? It's not complicated. You don't have to make a big woo-woo dance about it. It's just honest awareness. You know why? Because you deserve to check in with yourself just like you're checking in with everything else. Just like you're checking in with emails. Just like you're checking in with your coworkers. Just like you're checking in your calendar. You deserve to check in with yourself. You deserve that just like everything else. Now you may be thinking, okay, those are things that I can do when I'm checking in. When is the time that I should check in with myself? Before you start your workday, in the mornings, before you start your workday, after a tough meeting, when you feel overwhelmed, or you can just set a reminder to pause mid morning and mid afternoon. It doesn't have to be every time you feel exhausted or overwhelmed. You just set a timer. At 10 a.m., I got an alarm that says check in with yourself. At 2 p.m., I have another alarm that says check in with yourself. That's it. If you tie it to something like getting water or getting your coffee, like if you go refill your water bottle, if you tie it with that, when I go get my refill my water bottle, let me do a quick check-in. When I go get coffee, let me do a quick check-in. Before I switch my task, you go from one thing you finished and you get ready to go to another thing, let me do a quick check-in. You can tie it to a habit that when you do your self check-in. But you should be doing it throughout the day. You can do more than one or more than two. I just picked two in the morning and afternoon. You can do it every hour. There's no time limit on how many times you can check in with yourself. Now, there are three questions again when you're checking in with yourself that you ask yourself. And I'm going to do it with you right now. We're going to do an example. I'm going to show you how it's done. You're going to say, what's going on with my body right now? Right? Think about it when you're checking in. Am I tense? Is my am I clenching my jaw? Are my shoulders tight? Just notice. Notice how you feel. Notice your body. There's no judgment. Just notice how you're feeling. Because do you feel tense or relaxed? Are you clenching your jaw because you're so focused? Or is it relaxed? Are your shoulders tight? Does your neck hurt? These are things that you're noticing. What's going on with my body right now? The other question, what's going on in my mind? Am I scattered? Am I focused? Am I irritated? Am I excited? Am I tired? So label it. Label what's going on in your mind, because labeling it helps you manage it, right? So what's your mind going through? How are you feeling? And then the last question is, what do I need right now? Like, what do I need? Is it water? Do I need to stretch? Do I need a break? Do I need a moment of quiet? Or maybe just kindness? Those are the three things. Those are the three questions that you ask yourself when you're doing the quick break. What's going on in my body right now? How am I feeling? How does my body feel? What's going on in my mind? Because sometimes it feels like they don't talk to each other. So what's going on? My body maybe doing something. What's my mind doing? And what do I need right now? That's how you check in with yourself. And then you allow a pause so that you can give yourself what you need. Now, the most important piece to all of this, because you can check in and say, okay, I feel my body, and okay, my mind is racing or whatever. That's wonderful, wonderful. But there's one more step to this to make it work, and that's to respond with care. Once you decide what you need, what your body's going through, what your mind's going through, you want to respond with care. If you're tense, then you stretch. If you're overwhelmed, then you step away for 5 minutes. If you're scattered, then you write down a to-do list and you try to focus on one thing. If you're sad or if you're angry, take a few breaths. Let yourself feel it. It's okay to feel it. Checking in isn't just about noticing, it's about responding. So don't just, I notice all these things. That's great. That's the great first step. But there's a 2-step process. And the second one is to respond. Awareness is the first step. That's noticing. But action is the next step. You want to take action. Don't just, those people who just complain, but don't try to do anything to fix their situation. When you're checking in with yourself and you notice something, don't just notice it. Do the next step to fix it, to resolve it, to at least get on the path to that. Again, make it a habit. Put it on your calendar. Set a phone reminder. Create a sticky note that you're going to check in with yourself. Put yourself on your to-do list. Put yourself on your calendar. Because sometimes we forget ourselves. And it's important to put ourselves on these things to remind us, hey, I need to do a quick self-check-in. Hey, I need to make sure my lunch break is without distractions, that I'm not working. Hey, I need to go do my nature break. We put it on our calendar to remind us to check in with ourselves. The most important person at your job is you. Customers, yes, you're there to serve. Your coworkers and team, yes, you're there to help and be a better teammate. But the most important person at your job, every time you clock in or walk in those doors, is you. So you want to make sure that you are checking in with yourself. Put it on the calendar. Set a phone reminder or a watch reminder. Create a sticky note. If you do it just 2 minutes, a couple of times a day, just 2, it can change your entire relationship with work, with stress, and with yourself. Just 2 minutes of checking in on how I'm feeling and then giving yourself what you need. It is one of the most important and powerful forms of self-care because it teaches you to trust yourself and take better care of your needs in real time. Because again, a lot of times we notice, oh, I got this or that, and you put it on the back burner. I'll get that. I'll get to myself later. We put ourselves on the back burner all the time. Sometimes we ain't even on the burner. Sometimes we ain't even on the stove, even though we need to be. Doing self-care at work is the most powerful form of self-care because it will teach us to trust ourselves and take better care of our needs in real time. Not later, but in real time, right now. And when we take these pauses and when we take these different things that we're doing for ourselves, it is saying we're important. 2 minutes, you're giving yourself 2 minutes to do this. You're worth 2 minutes. Your work can wait 2 minutes so you can give to yourself. Okay. So in closing, I'm going to say a self check-in is a moment of awareness. So you're aware of what's going on. You're asking yourself, what's going on in my body? What's going on in my mind? And what do I need? And then you're going to respond with care, not criticism. The same care and kindness that you would tell a coworker, that you would tell a friend. That's how you're going to respond to yourself, with care, not criticism. And then make it a part of your daily work routine. I challenge you today, if you're watching this right now, if you're watching on replay, to stop at work a moment, at least once, and do a self-care check-in with yourself. I would love to hear how you're doing. I hope everybody has a wonderful Wednesday and a wonderful day at work. I'll see you on the next one.